All right, everybody. It is Friday, and I'm Max Dadlift, and we just got done with front squats, bench press, spato press, and what was it? Some RDLs and arms. It was a good little time. Whew, we're still a little out of breath and sweaty from it, but I want to take this time to go ahead and record a shed session. So last week we talked about one of these lies that are fed to men, especially through the algorithm. Last week it was, your worth is directly correlated to your output. And this week we're going to talk about one that's close related but a little different. There's nuance in it. This week is the if you're not actively getting ahead, you're falling behind. Ricky Bobby said it best with if you ain't first, you're last. But this is that grind set culture on, Jim Bro and Finance Bro memes. It's like if you aren't networking and making 30 new contacts or cold calling 100 clients or, you know, making X amount of dollars, by the end of the day, you're fading into obscurity, irrelevance, and, a symbolic death. This one's this is an appealing one, especially for guys who have a sense of agency and are sympathetic to, stoicism. One of the tenets of stoicism is memento mori. Remember that you will die, right? So there's people sell calendars of fucking skulls that every week over the course of 80 years so that you can have a tally of how much of your life is left. And that's supposed to motivate you to work and do great things. I'm not coming out and saying that work isn't good, but work for the sake of work isn't. And I'm going to say that following that grind set culture of either I'm growing or I'm dying is a way of dying before your life is even over. You're not enjoying your life. You're not present for it. You're always worried about the next thing. Like I said, I was susceptible to this when I was younger too. But really, being a father, when I had my first child, that really helped kind of set it home to me that there are seasons to life. When you're young and in school, you're learning the rules. Then you're in your 20s. You're out there applying the rules, seeing what matters to you, what doesn't, where the rules fit, where they don't, and where you fit in the world. That is your season of growth where you kind of set that baseline. I had kids a little older. I was 27 when my daughter was born, and was I 28? I was 27 or 28, somewhere in there. And I kind of realized that there's a seasonality to life, and that grinding and being busy all the time for the sake of being busy was over for me. This was I was stepping into a season of my life where we're not going to get 8 hours of sleep for a long time. You're going to get 2 hours of sleep at a time. You're going to wake up with the baby, change a diaper, feed her, go back to sleep for 2 hours, and then be up at 5 a.m. for PT. When you're doing that, you don't have a lot of bandwidth for eating right, for getting the quality of workouts that you're used to. You invest that time into your family, and you have to pull that time out of gym work, etc. And then after a little bit of time of that, you're like, oh man, bills are piling up. It's more expensive having 3 or 4 people in the house than it was when it was just me and my wife, right? So then you start to pull some of that time back from the family and put that into work so that you have enough to cover your bills. So there's a bit of that balancing act that goes to it. So you might not always be actively, getting promotions or scoring new clients or making sales, but you're not fading into obscurity or irrelevance either. You have a certain amount of rounds in the chamber, and you have to choose where you're putting them. So I know a lot of people say, "Hey, scrolling TikTok for 3 hours a day is not a good use of your time." And while I'm inclined to agree that there are better uses of your time, like if the day you're scrolling through TikTok is the first time you've done it in 2 weeks and you just need a little bit of a mental break, like take that time to recharge, man. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty sitting in a hammock and thinking for a little bit, because that a lot of that hustle and grinding and focusing on what's the next immediate target in front of me is what keeps you stuck, and your wheels are just spinning it over and over. Sometimes you need to pull back and have that little break to properly evaluate, are these even the targets I'm supposed to be going after? Or if I switch up the order of these targets, like, are they important to me? If I knock this one first, does it actually make a path that leads somewhere, or am I just spinning on that wheel to try to make an extra 20 bucks an hour? So that's something to think about. Just once again, there are an infinite amount of games that people play that they are getting better at, and just being on a hierarchy of. And at any point you can choose to play a different game or be higher on a different hierarchy, right? Um, Homework this week. One of the things that I'm going to do, and I encourage you to do it with me, is just one of these days around 6 o'clock after you get home from work, when the whole family's home and everyone who would need to get a hold of you is there in the house with you. Take your phone, put it in another room, just put it on the charger, and don't look at it till tomorrow. So for me, it's probably 5:30 or 6 when I'm rolling out of work. I'll plug my phone into my room and I'm not going to look at it again until my alarm goes off in the morning. I encourage you to try that too. Just unplug, realizing that, if you're not posting constantly, the world's not crumbling around you and you are not, in fact, disappearing. So I appreciate you joining me. We'll come back next week for another quick talk and keep training. We'll see you next time.